Hi, and welcome back to the Rubber Room. My name is Chris Colley. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and today I'm going to share with you how to make this card using the Inlaid Embossing Technique. This is a technique that my downline Michelle shared with us at our last demonstrator get-together, and I absolutely loved it, so I needed to be able to share it with you. And what I'm going to be using today is the Full Heart Punch, the Heart-to-Heart Punch, and the Square Lattice Embossing Folder. And all of these items can be found and purchased in the Stampin' Up! Catalog. And the thing that I like the best about this card is the embossing technique, because you put your hearts in this instance onto the cardstock before you run it through your embossing folder. So it gives you this very unique, expensive looking paper. I'll see if I can get it a little bit closer for you so you can see just how the embossing folder will emboss all of your punched shapes as well as your background shape. So you get that real nice embossed look on all of the items on your card front. So to start off with today, I have used some Regal Rose cardstock and also some Real Red cardstock. And I've pinched out one of my big full hearts and two of the little hearts in the Heart-to-Heart Punch in the Regal Rose. And then I have two hearts from the Heart-to-Heart Punch in Real Red and one of the smaller ones in Real Red. And I'm going to start by just adhering these images onto my Whisper White cardstock, which is going to be the background for my card. So I'm just going to center that right in the middle of my card. And then I'm going to put my two Real Red hearts on either side of my Regal Rose heart. Just going to add a little snail adhesive to the back of those and line them up on either side of my Regal Rose heart. And because these punches for the bottom of my card are so small, I'm actually going to be putting my snail onto my Whisper White piece of cardstock for those three little hearts that are going to be going down at the bottom. Let me see if I can get that in here for you so you can see it. And I'm going to start in the middle with my red heart and just push that punched heart down into the snail that's there. And I'm going to work on either side of it and press those items down into my snail also. So I have actually my card base with all of my punched shapes adhered onto it. And now I'm going to take my embossing folder. I'm going to be using the Square Lattice Embossing Folder, and I'm just going to slip my piece of cardstock in there, just like that. So it's centered in my embossing folder. And the sandwich that I'm going to be using is the white base for my big shot. I'm not going to use any tabs on that base. I'm going to put a clear cutting mat on it, my embossing folder with my cardstock in the middle, and then a clear cutting mat on top of that. And that's going to be the sandwich that I am going to put through my big shot. And through the magic of video, I do have one that's already done. And as you can see, I'll get real close here so you can see the embossed image from my Square Lattice Embossing Folder on my hearts. So they're actually on all 6 hearts as well as my Whisper White cardstock. Then to put my card base or my card front together, I'm just going to add a little snail adhesive to the back there, and I'm going to wrap my piece of Real Red 5/8" satin ribbon around it, and I have pre-tied my little bow there with my bow maker. I love that little bow maker. My customers that come to classes also love that little bow maker because I pre-make their bows for them. They like to be spoiled that way. And then I'm just going to add some more adhesive to the back of that. Well, and then I'm going to put it onto my Real Red cardstock. And I have already adhered my Real Red cardstock to my piece of Regal Rose cardstock. And I did that in advance because I don't like to try and tape over where my bow is unless I absolutely have to. So I try and always do that with just one layer of cardstock behind it. So I'm just going to center that on there. Push it down so it's all adhered. I have stamped my sentiment already. It comes from the Seasonal Sentiment stamp set, which is available in our mini catalog, the holiday mini catalog from Stampin' Up. And I stamped it in Regal Rose, and then I took a Q-tip and just rubbed the Regal Rose ink off the heart at the top there. Let's get it where you can see it. And I used my red marker to then color that in. And I stamped it onto Whisper White and then mounted it onto a piece of Regal Rose. I did add some dimensionals to the back of it so I could pop it up a little bit. So I'm just going to take the backs off my dimensionals. If you can see, we have a little kind of a little running joke in our demonstrator group about me being from Rochester Hills, and you can tell that I'm from Rochester Hills because I only use half of my dimensionals. So for my demonstrator friend Nancy, here's how you use them when you're from Troy. You get the whole dimensional on there. If you're from Rochester Hills, we just used half of a dimensional. So now that I have all the tape off my dimensionals, I'm just going to center that on there and press it down. And there you have it. Real quick and easy technique that just gives you a very, very elegant look with your embossing folder, embossing your images right onto your cardstock and embossing your punched shapes right onto your cardstock for you. And I'm going to show you again the card that Michelle did for us. And this one you can see she has used her leaf from her bird punch, two-step bird punch, and we taped that on there and then ran it through the embosser with the square lattice embossing folder. So a really great, easy, quick technique that adds a lot of elegance to your cards. I hope you enjoyed your trip to the rubber room today, and you'll be back next week. Thanks, and have a great day. Happy stamping!